Kentucky put a beating on Eastern Michigan. They won 90-38. One of the players that contributed a lot in that win was Willie Cauley-Stein. The big man ended the game with a double-double. He scored 11 points and grabbed 11 rebounds. And after struggling with free throws against Louisville on Saturday, this was a big bounce-back game from Cauley-Stein.
What I told him, he took about, I think he made 400 free throws since the last game. What I told him before the game is, get fouled and go show everybody what you've been working on. Then I said, and if you miss one, it's okay, because you're going to just say to yourself, you don't make every free throw. But I'm still going to show him what I've been working on. And it was great that he made it. It was a crier. It kind of and then went in, but it went in.
That's all we've been working on is his free throws in practice. He's been spending a lot of extra time, and I think you'll see improvements with that. Like we tell him, it's not going to change overnight, but it's something that he's working on. And for him to come out and play like he did, he's just been a lot more aggressive, been staying low, just like a whole new player.
To me, he was the most impressive player from last night, Mark. A lot of guys played great, of course, in the blowout. But Willie Cauley-Stein's energy from start to finish when he was out on the court was remarkable. He was the head point of that press when they were inbounding the ball, shut it down, diving for loose balls. He's become one of my favorite players, especially having bounced back from those free throw struggles as a freshman. Are you impressed with the way he's just kind of seemed to – it doesn't faze him?
I was impressed with him in the Louisville game. I mean, I know he missed free throws, but I thought what he did getting rebounds, put-back dunks, I thought he gave a lot of energy. And I think he's the energy guy. We were, you know, at the beginning of the season, Kentucky was looking for an energy guy, and I think they found him. He can be the head on the press, he can get rebounds, he can get loose balls, and he's 7 foot, he's long, and he can score. So I think he's a very dangerous player.
I talked with Julius Mays after the game last night, and I asked him about the momentum, getting the momentum going. They seem like they're a slow team to get it going, but once they get going, you can't stop them.
Right.
You're right. Willie Cauley-Stein can be that guy. They're catching an oop. He's a guy that makes defensive plays, has a better polish offensively than he had to start the year, but he is constant energy coming off the bench, and now they have him starting. Do you like him in that alongside Nerlens Noel? He seems like he's fit in well, much better than he did at the beginning of the season.
Oh, I like him starting. Like you said, they were always starting off slow. And I thought Kentucky against Louisville, they're the top 4 team in the nation. Coming out fast is what they wanted to do, and I thought they did all right the first part of the first half. The second part of the first half, they were terrible.
Right.
Starting the second half, they were bad, but I thought Willie Cauley-Stein was the one constant through all that. And I think starting him is perfect because you got to get out to a fast start.
They look like a completely different team when they start with that lineup, different that they had last night. But 5 Wildcats ended the game with double figures in points. One of those was senior Julius Mays, who hit 3 3-pointers and 4 free throws. And in the past 3 games, Mays has been in a shooting slump. He made only an average of 5 points a game, and John Calipari said it was good to see him bust out of that slump.
Even Julius missing shots, he doesn't hurt your team. He just doesn't make shots. So there's no, like, not only is he not making shots, he's not guarding, he's turning it over. Well, Alex was hurting us. Julius never hurts us. He just maybe doesn't help us as much as we want. Today, he helped us.
It felt good finally to see a couple go in. I knew it was a matter of time. The only way a shooter come out of slump is to keep shooting. So, I mean, as long as I keep my confidence in myself and my teammate, my coaches keep confidence in me. They want me to shoot more, but when you miss it, you kind of second-guess yourself. So to see it go in, it was a good feeling.
He's so limited, Mark. As a player, he's not a point guard. He doesn't have that explosion. Doesn't have a huge upside. He's only here 1 year. But last night is how he ideally fits that offense, hitting shots and being steady. Cal said he doesn't take away from what they're doing.
Right.
Even on bad nights, he's just steady out there. What can that do for a young team, having a guy that maybe isn't going to be a superstar, but can just, you know what you're going to get from him?
Well, I think it's important for this team especially. I don't think he turns the ball over a lot. He needs to turn the ball over none because he doesn't. Yeah. It's usually not going to the basket or making a really impressive play and he gets a turnover. If he has a turnover, it's usually because it's an errant pass or a lazy pass. And I think that if he doesn't hurt you and he plays defense like he has been and he starts knocking down some shots, they need that consistency in this team. Because if you ask me, the reason that I get mad at them most when I'm watching a game is because they throw the ball away. They go out of control a lot of times, and I think he's a guy that usually stays under control, and I think it's a constant that they need.
Yeah, they need that presence, and Ryan Harrell gave him that coming back. I mean, I've been impressed with what he's doing, and Julius is just quiet, and he doesn't do anything. He's not going to dunk on anybody. He's not going to do those things, but he's just somebody they can rely on. And that's important, especially for this team. Now, John Calipari also held private practices with Alex Poythress this week leading up to the game, and it showed last night. Poythress finished the game as the second leading scorer with 16 points. And even though his overall play has improved, Coach Cal says he saw some lapses back to the old Alex.
He still has some glitches, but the team gave him a hand after the game. But we got to continue on the individual work. He and I are going to work tomorrow. And There were 2 or 3 things at the start of the game that we've been working on that he didn't carry over. He just reverted back. But you know what? He at least played with some energy. You could see it. He ran the floor hard.
I don't think it's going to be too hard for him to keep doing it because he's going to keep putting in the extra work. And Coach Cal's going to make sure he stays on him to do it. And, you know, he got to do it in practice. And if he keeps doing it in practice, it's going to show in the games.
You've seen a lot of improvement in him. Coach has been spending a lot of extra time with him, just working on the areas that he needs to work on, building his confidence back up. He was in a slump as well, and it was more mentally than anything, and not having confidence in himself. And for him to come out tonight, he played real well defensively and offensively, and hopefully he just builds on that.
Alex Poythress has been, we talk about this a lot. He's frustrating in a lot of ways because you want him to do so much more. Last night after the game, he seemed extremely annoyed, having to answer questions about his performance and just the pressure coming from Cal and the individual workouts and things like that. Cal said on his website today they have heart monitors or monitoring systems now that can tell when guys are pushing themselves, how much they're pushing them, and there's an accountability there.
Yeah.
When you were playing, how would that have been received? How much do you think the players hate this, having these monitors where Rock Oliver sits there and says, all right, you're at 80%, and then Cal makes them run?
That would have been rough. I mean, usually guys are like, I'm tired, coach, I can't go anymore. And you're looking at them going, I think you got a little bit left in the tank.
Right.
But now they have heart monitors for that. I think it's very cool scientifically, but I think it would be horrible as a player to go through that.
It's cooler outside the team than it is probably on the team.
That'd be terrible. Oh, my gosh.
But Alex Poythress played better in spurts. He didn't give a lot of that consistent, that beast mode.
Right.
What are your expectations for him the remainder of the season? Do you think the 2 weeks with Calipari is really going to pull that out of him? We saw Terrence Jones transform some other guys. You think he's a guy that's going to respond to that?
Well, I'll be honest. I've been doing a lot of thinking about Alex just because you want to know what is it, because he's so athletic. He's a beast. They always say beast mode.
Right.
But what I've seen is a lot of out-of-control play, guys taking off the dribble after one pass. I think he's the type of guy that he needs to keep bringing the effort on the defensive end, getting rebounds and all that stuff. But I do think that as the offense gets better and as the offense gets more disciplined, you're going to see Alex Poythress rise to another level. Because it's not about one pass and drive. It's about a drive, kick, drive, kick, drive, kick. That involves people like Alex coming out of the baseline and stuff like that to get easy baskets. And so I think as the offense progresses, you'll see his offensive game improve. But I think at this point, he just needs to pick up defensively, getting loose balls, and just show that overall heart monitor going to 90, 95, because that's it's what Kentucky wants. That's what Willie Cauley-Stein's doing. It's nothing to do offensively. It's just bringing it every day, and I think that's what he needs to do.
And that's interesting because when Terrence Jones hurt his pinky last year, he had to find other ways to contribute other than having the ball in his hands and scoring, and that took his game to another level. And that's Poythress is used offensively in a situation where he has to make decisions on the baseline a lot, and when he's not confident, he's making bad decisions. That just kind of compounds it. So hopefully he will respond.